guys. This is really weird to introduce yourself, but I don't know if I'm going to upload this onto YouTube or Instagram video, so if it goes to YouTube, it's just better to introduce myself. So my name's Paula, and I have started doing this maybe YouTube, maybe vlogging thing because I am stuck in the house because of coronavirus, and it's led me on to something that I didn't know existed that was really exciting, which was videos that I've found online by loads of US bloggers who go thrifting. In the UK we would say like second-hand shopping, whether it's in charity shops, second-hand shops, vintage shops, that kind of thing. And it's something that I love, and something that I could talk about until the cows come home, like my friends. I drive them nuts with it. So I thought, why not do that online, especially if there's people out there who are interested in it. I didn't know a lot of UK bloggers who do this exclusively, so if anyone knows any, please let me know so that I can have a wee look and follow them, because if I find it interesting, surely someone else might. So excuse me. So what I'm going to do for the first video is just dive straight into something that I think is probably the most exciting part of it, which is all the second-hand designer pieces that I have got. I've got them from various places. I have got them from charity shops, eBay, consignment companies, so there's a little bit of variety, which is good. I'll kind of order it in least exciting story to most exciting story, that I think anyway, which hopefully will be quite interesting. I am in no way an expert on authentication of designer pieces. I am just going by the knowledge that I've kind of gained through experience, things that I've looked up online, my own personal experiences with the same brands, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm not an expert. Don't take anything that I say to be like 100% truth. But you'll see, I'll try and be as honest with things as possible in terms of authentication, because unless you get it authenticated, you might never know. The first piece that I'm going to talk about was my very first designer piece. Why is my eyebrow doing that? Please don't look at that, that's weird. Was when I was 18, I had asked for this bag, and my mum and myself had put together to get me this bag for my 18th, because I wanted something special, because it's obviously a big birthday. I got this one from eBay, which, so I was 18 in 2008, so the only place to really get things like this that I knew of at the time was eBay, which was where I got this one. I now, being a little bit more experienced, would never buy from eBay. I know that now they do eBay Authenticate and things like that, but I just personally don't trust it. I would just feel horrible if I'd spent like an excessive amount of money on a bag anyway, and then to find out that it was inauthentic would just drive me nuts. I know that you have like PayPal and things to back you up, but I just personally don't trust it, and wouldn't do it again. So that's just my little 2 cents on it. But it was this one, which is the Louis Vuitton Speedy. It is now a limited edition. At the time it wasn't. It was one of those bags that I wanted because I had saw like all the celebrities that I liked at the time had it. Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, all that crowd. I mean, it's not like, it's absolutely not to my taste now. It is the gaudiest thing, but I love it because it's my first one and because my mum got me it. And also I like that you don't see a lot of the white monogram anymore. It's not as big a thing as you would see. I feel like it just screams like noughties nostalgia. so it's really, really heavy. So this one was produced, and from what I can find out on the serial number, it was made in January 2003 in France. So I think that's really, like, it's 17 years old, is that right? Yeah, I think so, 17 years old. So it's in really good condition. When I was checking the serial number this morning, I actually tore the lining, which is annoying, which I'm now going to have to try and fix, but considering the fact that it's almost 20 years old and it's had a good use, it's in really, really good condition. So as I was saying about authentication, because it's come from eBay, I cannot 100% guarantee that it is authentic. The woman who sold it to me had, at the time, she had got it as a gift from someone, and she had it for a few years at the time, so it was like first hand to someone, second hand to her, and then she was selling it. But I paid about $250, I think it was, for it. At the time, they only sold for about $7 or $8.50. I could be wrong with that, but I'm sure that's what it was at the time. Now, second hand, they go for £2,000. I think because it's such an iconic design, like, it is just that bit of, like, noughties. It was like the bag that everyone had, so I think it's got that kind of cult following. I can't find any current prices on it, although I did find a YouTube video of a girl who bought one when it came up on the limited edition in 2017, and she paid $3,150 for it. So it just shows you, like, it's absolutely skyrocketed, and it shows you what kind of piece it is, that people remember it all these years later and still will pay, you know, the money for it. I have done tons of research on this particular model, and I can't find anything to say that it isn't authentic. The leather seems correct, the pattern seems correct, all the serial numbers, size codes, and everything match up. The lettering's correct, the lining's correct. Yeah, so there's nothing that I can find to say otherwise. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's not authentic, because my mum got me it for my 18th, and it's sentimental to me, and I love it and I use it, so it doesn't matter. But I know in myself, if I had to get it authenticated and it wasn't real, it would break my heart a little bit. So as far as I'm telling myself, it's authentic. If it's not, it's not. If it is, it is. Like, I would rather just live in ignorant bliss and not know, and be happy and love it. So it is what it is. But just one last look. This is the Speedy 30 in size. I really want one of the brown monogram Speedies, but because of the size of this one and how heavy it actually is, and how awkward it can kind of be to carry about, I think I would go for the Speedy 25, just that little bit smaller. So that's the first one. For the second one, it's another Louis Vuitton bag, which I got this year from a company called The Vintage Bar, which is a really cool website that sells loads of second-hand bags and things. I'll talk a little bit more about them later, but I've bought a few bags from them and I think they're really fab. I think the website looks great, their Instagram looks great. I've had really good customer service from them, even when I've returned something. If you have any questions about it, please email me. I'll leave all the details. There could be some issues with, like, returning and postage, so if anyone wants to ask me about that, because the company's in Denmark, it's a little bit more complicated. I'm happy to let you know my experience with it, but it was all good. So that's it there. So you can just search for them on Instagram, The Vintage Bar, and have a wee look at what they've got. So this Louis Vuitton bag is it's another kind of noughties favourite. It's like completely popped back up at the moment. I think everyone is really nostalgic for that kind of time right now, and they like all these little, like, small bags with the small handles, which is exactly what this is, and is exactly the reason why I wanted it. So it's the Louis Vuitton pouchette with the short strap. I got this at the end of last year, 2019. I don't even know what day it is, never mind the year. And I had wanted this one for a while. Whenever these come up, they seem to fly out the door so quickly because they're so popular at the moment. So the minute that I saw one come up, I just jumped straight on it. I think I paid about $3.40 including postage for this one. The Vintage Bar are really good. They tell you about how damaged the bag is, any imperfections, things like that. And I got really lucky because other than a little bit of like tarnishing on the leather, everything else looks great. The inside's great. The metalwork is really good. The stitching's great. So I really lucked out on it, which was nice. But these are still selling brand new for $3.85 is the retail price. So it just shows you that they're not losing much value, even though this one is as old as it is. The serial number on this one is traced back to November 1999 in Paris. Again, I just love that you can like pinpoint it down to the month that it was made, and I love that it's produced in Paris. I have a couple of bags that are, you know, the designers are, you know, French, Italian, and then the bag's made somewhere else, and I'm like, I like that it's, you know, French designer. This one was produced in France. You can buy the longer leather strap for it, but even secondhand they're still quite expensive. I think I saw online you could get them from like, I think the cheapest was 180, but even secondhand I was seeing them for like 250, 240. I am quite short, so for me to get another strap it might end up being too long, which is usually the case, and it's an expensive strap, so I can't cut it up or do any of the things that I would usually do. So I'm just quite happy with the short strap. I do have a little gold chain which I will use if I need it to be a crossbody bag, but this gives you the other option there.
This is a reminder. Water.
My Alexa's telling me to stay hydrated. Just ignore.
This is a reminder. Water.
She's done. So yeah, that shows you the short strap, and you can take it like a clutch, but I just always have it as the short strap, which is my style anyway. It's the way I like to have my handbags. Yeah, it's one of my favourites. I wear it to death. I think it's going to be really good when we're allowed back out and we can go on holiday. You always tend to wear brown in the sunshine, so I think it's just one of those bags you could take this as your only nighttime bag or your only bag, and it would do you for everything. So your cost per wear on it is really low, which is, you know, my favourite thing about buying designers, is like making sure you get, you know, your use out of them. So number 3 is it's a much cheaper design in terms of like, you know, Louis Vuitton to this, but the reason that I make, yeah, it's a designer brand, but because it's so affordable, people might not think that, but I love this brand. I have 5 of these bags including this one. So when I saw this one in a charity shop in Australia, I jumped at the chance. I got it in, right, so it was in Australia when I was travelling. I had been away for about 3 months at this point, and I was now in my 4th month in Australia, and I'm sure I was in Sydney. It was Newtown. I don't think it was Melbourne, I'm sure it was Sydney, so we'll say Sydney. If I'm wrong, it's wrong. But it was a charity shop called Vinnie's, which they have loads of them in Australia. It is a charity which, from what I can tell, supports people who found themselves in poverty through, you know, migration, refugees, bushfires, anything like that. They support with that. They're really big charity stores. When you go in, it's quite like, it's not as big as Goodwill in America, but they're big stores. I feel like with charity shops, when you go have a charity shop somewhere where there's a high student population or a high tourist population, that's where you always get the best stuff, because people leave behind what they can't take. And yeah, they'll leave like things that other people would never leave, like this. So it is the Longchamp Paris, yeah, Le Pelage bag. Again, if I'm saying that wrong, please don't. I'm from Scotland, like, it's a struggle. So it's either the large or the extra large, but I think that this size retails for about £85. I could be wrong though. I got it for $30, which I think now is about £15. At the time, it obviously would have been much higher. So say maybe £25 max, which was amazing. It was just sitting behind the counter, and I asked the woman if I could see it. Like I say, I have loads of these at home, so I knew exactly what I was looking for. And while I had been in Australia, I had obviously bought a lot of clothes, so I really needed the space in my suitcase. So when I saw this, I was like, this is perfect for the airport, to get like more stuff in so that I can fill my case with clothes and things that I had bought. So it came in really handy at the time. To be honest, I don't wear a lot of navy at all. Yeah, so I'm going to give this to my sister, so that she can love it maybe a bit more than I will. I have this same one in the black. I also have the same size but with the short strap in the black. I have the mini in the black, and I have the mini in the pink. And I just love these bags because they're so, you can wear them with everything. I think because of the sizing of them and the way they're made, they hold everything. So see, for things like school, work, holidays, overnight, airports, they are fantastic. They stand the test of time, they're sturdy, and I also think they look nice without being like too over the top. If you're a person who maybe doesn't like these big flashy designers, you could have something like these and they still look really nice without being too over the top. So yeah, it's a brand that I absolutely love, and I think their bags are great. So I was really chuffed with that one when I got it, and it saved my life at the airport when I had to pay $90 per pound in excess weight, which I didn't. I threw things away, wore 5 jackets. I wasn't paying almost $300 for 3 kilos of stuff. No, Australia, no. So that is number 3. Number 4 is probably my favourite bag, but not my favourite story. So this year I turned 30 in February, and I had, again, same with my 18th, it was a big birthday. Bags are like my thing that I love, like my big luxury thing. Like some people like cars, some people like, I don't know, makeup. Like bags are my thing that I'm like obsessed with. So I wanted a really nice bag. So I had asked if my whole family if they were giving me a gift, if they could give me just money, so that however much money I could get, I could put the rest towards getting a re-edition 2005 Prada, which was like the bag that I really, really wanted. I had saw this one and I had previously bought another colour, again with the vintage bar, but when it came it was more a green than a brown, and I wanted the brown, so I returned it. And then I saw this colour and I was like, oh, you know, if I'm going to have one of these bags, I want it to be a colour that I'll wear all the time and that I'll get a lot of use out of. And I found this colour and it was like, it was perfect, but it was really hard to track down. So what the Vintage Bar do is you can put yourself on a wait list, so you can email them and tell them about the model you want, the brand, the model, the colour, and they'll try and track it down for you and then email you when they have it in, which is what I did with them after trying for months to source this colour and I couldn't do it. I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks later they got in contact and they were like, we have it. And it was really close to my birthday, so I bought it and then just said to all my family, well, please, like, just give me money so that I can pay off my credit card, because I was quite happy to have this one item that was like my special present, and I could, you know, if I wanted anything else later, I could buy it myself. But it ended up, I got this one obviously, and then it ended up that my mum surprised me with the Prada for my birthday as well, which was like so unexpected, and I cried, and she's an angel. So I got both in the end. So the bag was the, again, another noughties one, the Dior Trotter saddle bag mini. And like I say, I wanted it specifically in this colour because I wear red all the time. That is my favourite colour. So I knew having it in the burgundy would go with loads of things and I would get loads of use out of it. So this cost me around $4.60-ish, I think. That's kind of about the average that I see them go for online. I have seen people try to sell them for up to £1,000, and I just think, it's, for one, it's a mini. If you're going to spend that one on a second hand one, you can get a new one, a new edition one for, you know, not much more. So I was quite happy to pay that price for it, especially when I know that I'm gonna use it to death. I have no idea what they were originally sold for back when they were popular, to be able to compare, which is a shame. With this one, the serial number is a little bit harder to track than Louis Vuitton, or maybe I was just reading it wrong, but I think that this one was made in October 2002, but like I say, I wasn't the best at decoding the codes, so hopefully that's right. But again, another noughties one, same thing again. I like to have, you know, a little strap, like a little noughties, you know, that kind of style. I love the Dior monogram at the moment. I think everyone does. I think that's why I like these opposed to the newer versions. The newer versions are beautiful, but they're all leather. I love like this, like it reminds me of just like 2003, like this print was everywhere, and I like that, you know, with like Louis Vuitton, with Gucci, I like the branding done in that kind of way, as opposed to like, you know, just a big logo stamped on the front. But that's just my personal taste. There's nothing, not to discredit anyone else's taste or anything, like, no. So as I said with the Louis Vuitton one, the pouchette, I will never put these down. So if I'm in like a restaurant or a bar or somewhere where I have to, you know, put my bag down, I will put this little chain on it, just like a little gold chain that I have off another bag, and then use that to put it across my body so that I can keep it safe. I've had handbags stolen before, and it's awful, and I care a lot more about the bag itself rather than what's in it. So if I had to lose one of these, I would be devastated. So that is what I do with both of them. Again, you can detach the strap and make it like that, which is really cute. Just have it as a clutch, but again, I just always have it as a shoulder bag because that is my kind of style, and that's what I like. I can't think of any more information to give on this one, but it speaks for itself. So it's definitely my favourite one. I've worn it to death already, and I will keep it for the rest of my life. I'm really, really careful with it. The only part that is, it's again in really, really good condition considering how old it is. Even the leather is a little bit not torn, but like kind of you know, when leather like kind of breaks apart a little bit. But the hardware on it is fantastic, because it's in such good condition. Whoever's had it has really, really taken care of it. Even the tag on the zip, the last one that I bought, the tag was almost off, so it just shows me that they're really, you know, really delicate. So when I open it, it's literally just putting my finger behind it and pulling it back like that, so that I'm not pulling on the tab, because I wouldn't want to. That would be like the hardest thing, I think, to fix. So I don't want to damage it. So save the best for last, because this one is my favourite story of how I got this bag. Obviously everyone, when you are secondhand shopping, charity shopping and things, everyone always hears that story of, oh, I know someone who found, you know, a Chanel bag and this and this store, There are literally like pages online dedicated to the designer things that Americans find in Goodwill, and I'm like, I can absolutely imagine it in the Goodwill in Los Angeles. People are just like donating crazy things. So I think I want to do a trip to America where I just go around all the Goodwills and buy things. So this was purchased in a charity shop which is local to me, and it's called Kilbride Hospice. It is a charity which is obviously helping people get through end of life. I am not sure if it's specifically cancer related or if it's for other things. It is a special one to me because we had a family friend who was in this hospice. My work have also done loads of stuff with this charity, so it's one that I really like to support. If I'm donating things, I have two that I'll always specifically, like, I'll donate to Kilbride, and then the next time I'll donate to Shelter Scotland, and that's the two that I alternate between, because these are charities that I think are really important, especially locally to me. So when in my old job I used to get a Wednesday off work, and me and my mum would go charity shopping, which we'd call Charity Shop Wednesdays. So this was just a normal charity shop Wednesday. And we left the Kilbride store, and I was disappointed because I didn't find anything, but in the window they have a cabinet, and it's like all their high-end stuff. You usually have like cameras, like vintage books, nice jewellery, things that are just a little more like expensive, and this was in the window. And I obviously had a look because you assume it's fake, so I thought, oh, I want to have a look and see what's there. And it was sitting in the window, and it was priced at £39, and at the side of it, it had the authentication, it had the original price tag, it had the authentication certificate, and it had the envelope that it all comes in. So I thought, oh, right, like, surely not, never, nah. But I went back in, and I spoke to the woman, and she told me a little bit about the woman who donated it. She also told me that someone else had been in looking at it. So I had to look through it and things, and I really liked it, and I thought, you know what, I am just going to get this, and if it's not real, it doesn't matter, like, I like it anyway. I was going to sell it, to buy another one, which I'll explain when I show you it. So I have had it authenticated basically, so it's like the charity shop urban legend come true, which is, you know, amazing. And I always, like, every time I go back into the charity shop, like, the woman knows me now because I was so excited at the time. So the magic bag was this, which is the Prada Tessuto Sport. I think the original name of it, Prada Tessuto Sport Mini. I couldn't find a lot of information about these originally, because whenever you search it, it's just the 2005 re-editions that appear, which is obviously the updated version. I got this maybe a few months before the kind of Prada nylon 2005 re-edition craze, like, which is, it's the it bag of the moment, or at least it has been. So when I bought it, I just was like, oh, this is gonna go with everything, and then now they are so huge, I'm like, whoa, like, that's amazing. I wear it to death, I wear it with everything. even like if I'm going down to like Asda and I have like a jogger suit on or a lounge suit, I'll just put this on, and then I feel like I'm a bit more like, oh, I'm like sports luxe, not like I'm going to Asda in my pyjamas. Although I am going to Asda in my pyjamas. So I was going to sell this because I was going to get the 2005 re-edition in the black with the straps. So it has the crossbody strap, the train strap, and the little, I think it's like a coin purse. So I thought if I sell this, I could buy that and just put the difference, and then I get 3 bags out of one. But after like thinking it over, I just decided to keep this one. I am not that cool that I can pull off the 3 straps. Like, if anyone follows Amy Fuchsia on Instagram, she is like made for that crossbody bag. She is like so like chic sports, like streetwear cool, and she wears it with loads of her things and just looks amazing and everything. And I'm just like a little bit more girly, a little bit more feminine. Like, this is probably like as like edgy as I get. So, and also just I love the story behind it, which is like a great story to tell. Also, because it's a first edition, it has like so many differences compared to the 2005 re-edition. The Prada emblem on the 2005 re-edition has like leather binding behind it. It also comes with the little leather tag. The strap, zip tie even, is leather now. So I love that this one's an original, and I think that's part of what I like about shopping vintage as well. Like with the Dior, with the first Louis Vuitton, the second Louis Vuitton, they're first editions, so even the ones that are still being made now are slightly different, which is exciting to me, maybe not to anyone else, but like for example with the new pouchette on the Louis Vuitton, it has a pocket, which the original doesn't. If you're shopping online for vintage designers, for example the Lady Dior bag, there are so many differences between a first edition, a vintage, and a new edition. So like I find that really cool to be like, oh well, here's how the vintage is different to the first edition and da 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 da. But maybe I'm the only one that gets excited about that kind of thing. But I think that's the magic in designer labels, is that you don't get with fast fashion so much anymore, is like that effort that's been put into it, that those changes that have been made, those updates that have been done, which is why I find it's so exciting to shop second hand. That's all of them that I have to show you. I'm hoping if I do more videos like this, I can show you guys, you know, non-designer pieces, how I style pieces, tips and tricks. I don't know if anyone can give any advice, recommend any other people who do things like this, tell me things that you would like to see. Like ask me or tell me or let me know, because I have a lot of time on my hands right now, as we all do, with coronavirus, and however long this might last, I need something to entertain myself and fill that like gap that I'm missing out, not getting to go and do these fun things. You can subscribe, I think, down there. I don't really know YouTube, to be honest. But if you want to find me on anything, my handle on everything is always brandtastic_X. So if you need to find me on anything or you want to, like, I'm always there. But thanks very much for watching, guys.